between the U.S. and Iran escalates. Secretary of State Mike Pompeo says Iranian officials are spreading misinformation.
It is very likely that Iran will continue to present things that are fanciful, that are fraudulent, that are false. And we need to make sure that every news outlet, everyone who's observing this understands what's true and what the Iranian regime wants you to believe.
A British Foreign Office delegation is in the region trying to de-escalate the situation. New Hampshire officials identified the 7 people killed when a truck collided with a group of motorcyclists.
A medical examiner says all of them, members of a motorcycle club for Marines, died from blunt trauma. The oldest was 62, the youngest 42. The driver of the truck, Volodymyr Zhukovsky, was said by a relative to be cooperating with the investigation. So far, Zhukovsky has not been charged. Gernal Scott, Fox News.
The National Transportation Safety Board is investigating a small plane crash in Hawaii last week that killed all 11 people on board. The plane went down shortly after takeoff Friday near Dillingham Airfield on Oahu's North Shore.
This is the deadliest accident involving a civil airplane in the United States since 2011.
NTSB board member Jennifer Homendy. Today, 2 people died and several others were hurt when a charter bus ran off a highway in southern Colorado. The bus hit a bridge support about 10 miles north of Pueblo before going off the road. The accident caused extensive backups. Daredevil Nick Wallenda and his sister Lihana successfully completed a simultaneous high wire walk in Times Square, 25 stories above ground. Lihana broke several bones in her face in a 2017 fall in Sarasota, Florida. Tonight, the siblings had safety harnesses but no safety net. This is Fox News.
Safer USA, Chicago's most trusted name in firearm training, is offering beginners classes, tactical pistol and rifle, long-range rifle to 600 yards, and the most comprehensive Illinois concealed carry program available. AM 560 On Target radio co-hosts David Lombardo and Gretchen Fritz will prepare you to carry a firearm for personal protection, including firearm, holster, and ammunition selection. A comprehensive law review designed to keep you out of trouble and even how to deal with home invasions. Firearm, ammunition, holster, class notebook are provided. Safer USA and the Aurora Sportsman's Club invites you to participate in this one-of-a-kind Illinois concealed carry program that also qualifies you for Florida, Utah, and Arizona non-resident permits. Find out what over 6,000 students already know at saferusa.com.
Or call 815-741-3474. That's 815-741-3474. Safer USA. Choosing to own a firearm is your business. Teaching you to own it responsibly is ours.
It's time to stand with Israel. Consider the lifelong impact of joining nationally syndicated media host Dennis Prager and Mike Gallagher, along with AM 560 The Answer, on the Stand with Israel tour. This December 2nd through 11th. More than a vacation, this journey will guide you through centuries of faith and culture as you visit iconic places right out of Scripture. Along the way, your host will broadcast on-site while you watch and participate. Together with like-minded travelers, you'll see over 40 iconic sites during the 10-day tour, where you can pray at the Western Wall in Old City, Jerusalem, float in the Dead Sea, and take a boat out onto the waters of the Sea of Galilee. Have you ever wanted to walk inside the Garden Tomb? Register today for the Stand with Israel tour this December 2nd through 11th. Just visit 560theanswer.com, keyword Israel. That's 560theanswer.com, keyword Israel. Famous conservative quotes, presented by Automated Systems.
Here's a Churchill quote to improve your outlook. A pessimist sees the difficulty in every opportunity. An optimist sees the opportunity in every difficulty. Wise words to live by, indeed.
Manufacturing companies, I encourage you to call my friend Laz Kulchar from Automated Systems. Automated Systems is a software and systems integration company that specializes in companies that are required to meet FDA compliance requirements. Automated Systems will create a custom solution for your business that will make your production lines, facilities, and plants run more efficiently. Imagine less downtime, more speed, and fewer rejects. From Fortune 500 to startup, ASI delivers solutions for your toughest automation challenges. For information, I encourage you to talk to Laz at Automated Systems. Call 844-HIRE-ASI or visit hireasi.com. That's 844 HIREASI, 844-HIRE-ASI, or online at hireasi.com.
It's time for On Target Radio, Chicagoland's only radio show dedicated to the red meat issues that affect your life, from gun control to freedom of speech. Now, debating, debunking, and discussing today's hot issues. Here are your hosts, David Lombardo and Gretchen Fritz.
Welcome to On Target Radio. Tonight, David and Gretchen will be talking about why a New York man was arrested for defending his own home. Find out why a lobbyist, Chris Cox of the NRA, is in hot water. Then find out what's going on in Oregon after Republicans flee the Capitol. And later, your moment of AOC Zen. All that and more on tonight's On Target Radio. So give us a call at 312-642-5600 and ask a question live or make a comment live on the show, or go to our Facebook page, On Target Radio, and ask a question there. And don't forget to check us out on YouTube, On Target Radio, where you can watch the show in real time and then go back and view the archive version.
If you think it's bad in Illinois, you ought to talk to Ronald Stolarczyk of Oneida County, New York. If all the weeping and gnashing of teeth, and of which I participate actively, admittedly, in Illinois, New York is like so far over the top, it's ridiculous.
Oh, yeah. So we talked about this guy actually 2 weeks ago, but the Daily Signal wrote a very detailed article about if this guy were to have gotten a gun license, a handgun license in the county in which he lives, all the hoops that he would have had to jump through. And I think some of the hoops are flaming, to be honest with you.
Flaming is a very polite way of putting it. So the the author of this, it was a Daily Signal article, Amy Swearer, went through and tracked down. And some of the steps she's not 100% sure are right to begin with, because there's sort of this black cloud that surrounds the whole thing.
Apparently it's a little bit vague, and there are certain things she's like, well, if we hadn't called and checked on this, we would never have known, this blah, blah, blah.
It almost seems like they don't want you to have one of these permits.
Yeah,
oh, no, I don't think that's true.
It
no,
seems that
just me.
You kind of start to get that feeling,
So it says, it starts out, well, we talked about what happened last week. Two people were down in his garage. He could hear it. He didn't go after them, figured they'd go away. Then they come up the stairs. Then they break in through his door, and he tries to tell them to stop, and they won't, and he shoots them, kills both of them. Oh, well, sorry.
Right.
Yeah, but the problem, and they own the gun legally.
Yes.
He nothing.
Well, no, he didn't.
Well,
he's not a prohibited person.
So right, right. That's true. When you say I guess what I mean when I say he owned it legally, there was nothing about him that would prevent him from owning the gun.
Right, and he inherited it.
So it was in the house.
He didn't purchase it illegally.
It was already in the house.
And he was not a prohibited person.
Yeah, but he didn't register with the state.
He didn't get this permit.
Yeah.
And that's the interesting thing, because it was already in the house. So his father had the permit, had the firearm.
Correct.
It was in the house. His father lived in the house. His father died when he lived in the house. So technically, I mean, what would he have had to have done to make it legal? He couldn't take it somewhere else after his father died. He left it in the house. I mean, between the time of his father dying, him getting the permit, I mean, it's illegal automatically right then.
Well, he couldn't afford the permit to begin with.
Well, I mean, besides the point, I mean, there's no way that he could have done anything legally at that point.
No. Well,
besides getting the permit, but until the point where he got the permit, which I understand takes months.
It would be probably minimum 7 months.
Well, technically a felon, so it's just following the Illinois playbook.
But what we don't know is there, after time of death, is there, like in Illinois, there's a grace period after time of death that you don't have to have a FOID card. You possess the gun and you find a home for it. But just to go through the list.
Or you apply for a FOID card.
Right, either way. Just to go through the list is absolutely astounding. She tracked this whole thing. This is for a little .38 caliber Rossi revolver, right? She tracked this whole thing down. And by the way, it's worth pointing out that the county's district attorney didn't press charges. They didn't arrest him.
No, for homicide.
For homicide, right. They went after him just.
They were not going to charge him with homicide.
Yeah. So anyway, after all is said and done, this is what you have to do. The first thing is, if you want to own a handgun, you have to go to the Oneida County office building, but they're not open during lunchtime. They're only open in the morning and the afternoon, but not lunchtime.
They're only open like 6 hours a day.
Exactly. Alternatively, if you live on the other side of the county, you can go to Griffith's Business and Technology Park, which is open 8 a.m. to noon on Thursdays.
4 hours a week.
So that's the start. Then once you get into the, I kid you not, the Office of Pistol Licensing Even we don't have an office of pistol licensing.
No.
Although we shouldn't say it too loud because we may have one next week.
JB may be listening.
Yeah. Then you need to present a New York State driver's license proving you're at least 21 years old and you've lived in Oneida County for at least 1 year. Okay, fine.
Why do you have to live in the county for a year?
Who knows? Because,
so, in other words, for an entire year after you move there, you're forced to be disarmed. You're forcibly...
Maybe not. Maybe that's a grace period. Maybe you
disarmed.
can have a pistol for that year, but it doesn't sound like it.
Doesn't sound like it.
Then you have to provide a certificate of completion of an NRA basic pistol course, but it has to be taught by a county-approved instructor.
I'm going to go out there. That sounds like a good scam. I like it.
After you do that, after you take that course, which is anywhere from $40 to $165 for an 8-hour course, and they're not offered on any kind of regular basis. Then, after paying a $10 processing fee to the county, you can then receive the application form.
You have to pay $10 just to get the form.
You haven't even done an application yet. And that begins the process of seeking the county's permission to own a gun in your home. Now, the application, this sounds like a joke. The application is 5 parts, all right? And it has to be done in black ink. All the signatures on the form all the signatures, listen to this, all the signatures have to be notarized. Not one notary on the form. Every signature has to be notarized. Mm-hmm. You have to have 2 identical headshot photographs, no larger than 2 by 2.
This is my favorite part.
And then each application that requires 4 notarized character references from individuals 21 years of age or older who are not related to the applicant and who reside in Oneida County.
They have to live in the county.
I wonder how many people reside in that county.
Oh my gosh. Well, not very many because there's only like 2 towns.
I would sell like a notarized, service where I would just write a letter for somebody for $25. Sign it for you.
You're listening to On Target Radio.
where we notarize.
And this is AM 560 The Answer. Give us a call, 312-642-5600, and tell us how really logical this is. Now,
and then you have to start paying bribes, basically.
And then after you do all that, you have to pay several additional, they call them fees, processing and fingerprinting. That includes $150 to Oneida County Sheriff's Office, $100 to the Utica Police Department, or $50 to the Rome Police Department, depending on where you reside. Now, all payments have to be made by postal money orders. Not cash, not check, not credit card. Postal money orders.
Most people have never even heard of that.
Which then requires a trip to the post office.
So you get your like million-part notarization on the form. You pay your bribes, and then there's a 6-month waiting period while they process it.
After you live there for a year.
Yes, after you've lived there for a year. Right, exactly.
This all sounds like it's geared to be sort of restrictive of new residents more than anything.
You don't think that, do you, really?
A little bit.
Well, yeah, obviously new residents wouldn't know 4 people in the county, so how are they going to get 4 notarized character statements?
It's easier if you're born there because your father can apply the day you're born, and maybe you'll get it when you're old enough.
Maybe you'll get it by the time you turn 16.
Now, here's the line that I particularly care for, and it says, after the 6 months, you'll be informed whether it's accepted or denied. It says, denials can occur for a myriad of reasons. This is shocking, including seemingly arbitrary determinations by the application processor that you are not of, quote, good moral character.
Well, you're out.
And then you're out. Well, you got like a year and a half to be immoral, so it's easy to pick up something along the way,
Well, this guy's not getting one because he didn't apply for it in the first place and he had a gun, so he's obviously not a
He's
good
basically out. Yeah, he's just out of it.
He's done.
Now, the problem with this poor guy, he could not afford to have electricity and running water in his house. So how in the heck is he going to ever afford to do that? But the bigger question is, who would rob this guy? If he doesn't have water and electricity...
They probably assumed he wasn't home because there were no lights on.
Well, that's true. That may be true, too. But you know what? They're not ever going to do that again.
No, because they're dead.
That's it.
The Daily Signal does point out that these are burdens we would never allow to be imposed on another fundamental constitutional right, and that no level of government should get away with imposing such great barriers to exercising a constitutional right, which I think we can all get behind.
Well, this sounds like the case in Illinois where the woman had the single-shot .22 rifle and shot the intruder, and the judge ruled that you don't need a FOID card or anything to have a firearm in your own house.
Yeah. The problem is, how do you get a firearm into your house if you don't have the FOID card.
Well, he's got a good case for how he got it in his house, because someone that had the card and the permit got it into his house.
Well, I
and
think
then
her
it was already there.
Her situation is the same. So it was her ex-husband or her separated husband who turned her in.
No.
Who like dropped a dime on her.
I hadn't heard that.
And I think it had been his gun. So he might have purchased it with a FOID card.
Right.
He might have planted it purposely.
And well, in any case, he left it behind, and she ended up using it. So, in any case, that's how it got there.
All right, we got to take a break. When we come back, we're going to talk a little bit about Chris Cox, who got the booty from the NRA. We're going to talk about that when we return with more on Target Radio. And you're listening to AM 560. The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson.
Sleep myths. Watching TV. Fall asleep with the TV on. Watch TV helps you unwind. Just turn your brain off. Watch something light. One of the Saw movies or something.
One of the Saw movies. You told me to go see Saw 2 with my boy.
It's great. It's a nice family movie.
You didn't tell. That's what you said. It's a horror film.
It's a morality play. That's what it is.
Okay.
Start your day with Chicago's Morning Answer. Weekday morning starting at 5 on AM 560. The Answer.
Do you like your gun range bag? There's a really cool local company here in Chicagoland that makes the finest range bags anywhere. And these quality range bags are so inexpensive that I bet you won't hesitate to buy one. The Hackett range bags from Hackett Equipment have it all. There are compartmentalized pouches that hold 2 or 4 pistols, ammo, mags, and even targets. Basically everything you need for a day at the range in a stealth design that doesn't resemble a range bag. Nobody will know you're carrying firearms. Additionally, they're super heavy duty and will last a lifetime because Hackett bags are 30% heavier than typical range bags. And the price is unreal. The large pack is under $100 and the small one under $80. But if you visit gunrangebags.com and use the promo code AM560, you'll save an additional 10%. Hackett Equipment bags really are range bags that can hack it. That's gunrangebags.com, promo code AM560. Gunrangebags.com. Do it now.
Balance of Nature. Changing the world, one life at a time.
When I wasn't taking it and I was waiting for my operation, I was feeling very tired. Now I'm driving like 11, 12 hours a day. I told you I manage 15 gas stations. And I have so much energy. I even gave some of my pills for my son, and he said, Dad, this is good, so I like it. I'm healing so fast. It's like amazing. My family is so surprised because my wound closing up and doing so good. So that is working now that I'm start taking my those fruits and vegetables.
Experience the Balance of Nature difference for yourself. For a limited time, you can receive a 30% discount and free shipping on your first preferred order of Balance of Nature. Call 800-2468-751 or go to balanceofnature.com and use discount code Chicago.
Hi, it's Amy Jacobson. Have you heard about Online Trading Academy? They're the leader in trading and investment education. They have courses throughout Chicagoland, including East Peoria, Valparaiso, and Lombard. I know because I took one of their classes. I learned so much about the markets and trading and shorting the markets. Don't let someone else make money off your investments. Take control of your financial future. Call Online Trading Academy now at 844-778-7132. That's 844-778-7132. Again, I was so impressed with Online Trading Academy, and I signed up for my own free class, and you can too. Market volatility is real, folks. And imagine if you knew when to get out of the market before it falls so you could protect your life savings. Sign up for your free class now at 844-778-7132 or online at otaclass.com. That's otaclass.com.
Now return to On Target on AM 560. The Answer. If you have a question or opinion, the studio line is 312-642-5600. Now, here's your host, firearm expert and educator, David Lombardo.
And there's more trouble with the NRA, and which I find pretty unsettling. So to bring those of you up to speed who didn't know this already, how long were we at the? When was it?
It was in April.
April. But it was.
It's like the end of April.
Yeah, like the end of April. So what happened during the NRA convention on the first day, Friday? Ollie North, who was the president, got sort of into, what type of contest with Wayne LaPierre over two things. Ollie North worked for, Ackerman McQueen, which had been the ad agency for NRA for many, many, many years. Yeah. They're the ones that came up with the thing from My Cold Dead Hands. I mean, very successful stuff that they did. And LaPierre came across a bill for, what was it? What did we say? $40-some million?
Yeah, I don't remember.
It was a gigantic amount of money for 1 year, and it wasn't itemized. And he goes, no, we got to look into this thing. So he started an audit. Well, it turns out Ollie North, who is now president of the NRA, was on the payroll of the ad
Ackerman
agency
McQueen.
for $1 million a year. And I like Ollie North. I do. I like Ollie North. That tipped the scale, and he said, well, you've had expenses, you've got this, we're going to do an audit of the NRA. Now they're going at loggerheads. And on Friday, when I was at the legal seminar, we heard, because there were a lot of board members and stuff in the legal seminar, that Ollie North said, I'm not going to run for a second term. Right. That's unheard of.
Sure.
That, right off the bat, there was more to it than even I understood.
Well, no, he said he wouldn't do,
He wasn't going to run for a second term, right. So he was going to finish his first term. That was Friday, probably afternoon. Saturday morning, we got up on the way over, and what's announced? He's out.
He resigned.
Ollie North is out. Well, so that brings you up to this. So now it turns out, they find out that Chris Cox, who heads the ILA, Institute for Legislative Affairs, who has been with NRA since the 90s,
1995.
Yeah, I mean, and has been he's the, like Wayne LaPierre is the face of the NRA. He's the face of legislation.
ILA.
Yeah. I mean, has been extremely successful at what he does. It turns out that he was shaking hands with Ollie North to try and boot. This is the allegation.
So they found the text messages and emails that demonstrated that he knew about the ouster attempt.
Yeah, and he was partly behind it. So they didn't fire him. They've suspended him pending investigation. But I think they suspended him because he can't talk. So I don't know where this is going to go.
He did release a statement, though. He said, the allegations against me are offensive and patently false. For over 24 years, I have been a loyal and effective leader in this organization, etc.
Well, I would say that all three of these people I've always held in high regard. I've really liked Ollie North ever since the whole Iran-Contra thing.
Sure.
And Chris Cox, without question, has been a giant in the whole.
Chris Cox, though, doesn't he look like he made a deal with the devil or something? Or he's got like a painting in his attic.
Yes, he has a portrait in his attic. That's absolutely cool.
Yeah, because he's been the executive director of the NRA ILA since 2002.
Yeah.
And he doesn't look more than 29 years old.
The interesting thing is when you see pictures of famous actors and stuff, they always look like they're 29 because that's when the picture was taken and they haven't updated.
They're using old headshots.
Yeah, they're using. But Chris Cox live on television looks the same.
No, I saw him on the stage before Trump came out at the convention in April, and he looks the same.
Yeah, he does. He really, really does. And if he's doing plastic, it's somebody that's really good.
They're really good, and I need a name.
Good. Yeah, exactly. But I have great regard for him. I mean, the stuff that he's done has been. And when you get to Wayne LaPierre, who has ever been a better voice?
No.
Truly.
Well, as we said, he eats, sleeps, and breathes.
He really does.
The Second Amendment in the
really
NRA.
does.
I mean.
So, and of course, the liberals are having a field day with this. They're going absolutely insane.
Oh, they love it.
And the liberal publications and the news, now they're going, he spent this money on a wardrobe, which that bill was over 15 years, it turns out. But, they're citing all this stuff, and upper management is, milking the organization, they're robbing members. And
Well, you know why they're doing that? They're trying to get us to, not support the NRA.
Exactly.
Normally, liberals, if it was on the other side, I'd be like, cool, they're wasting money. That's awesome for me because they're not spending on legislation.
Nobody seems to have a problem with the Clinton Foundation.
Exactly. I mean, keep
Which
spending, right?
Which is basically just an international money laundering organization.
But, the way I see it is, these were highly regarded people, and it's sad to see it happen, but in a way I'm glad it's public, and I'm glad that we know about it and they're talking about it, because that makes me feel a little bit more comfortable, at least that, hey, if there's corruption going on, that they're actually looking into it, doing something about it, and being good stewards of the money I'm trying to, to give to them.
I get that, but I will say that no organization has done as much for the Second Amendment as the NRA has.
That is true.
I mean, and with all due respect to Alan Gottlieb, who is phenomenal, he just doesn't have that big of a. I mean, the NRA is the 500-pound gorilla. Gottlieb's great, but the NRA has got deep pockets. They got,
Right.
So anyway, that's where it's at, and we don't know yet quite how it's going to come out. I'm sure we will be hearing more. I'm sure we will, but for those people who I've seen on social media going, well, I'm going to quit the NRA, don't do that. Because there ain't no plan B.
Right.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, and again, support.
Not only that, what would that accomplish? I mean,
well, exactly.
It wouldn't accomplish anything.
Support Gottlieb.
Other than giving the gun controllers what they want, it wouldn't accomplish anything.
I mean, there's a couple plan Bs, but nothing is like the NRA. Nothing has that power or that stability.
The thing about Alan Gottlieb is like the intellectual. I mean, he's the one that does, and I don't mean to slight anybody at the NRA, but he's the guy who actually thinks stuff through and comes up with writes some amazing stuff. So he needs all the support you can give him. But the NRA is just a big freaking gorilla with a huge club. And I mean, I just love it what is it that you always say? If you're not taking
fire, then you're not over the target.
And they take fire all the time.
Which is stolen from Breitbart.
Yeah, they take fire all the time. So I hate to see this happening, and you're probably right. If there's something going on, it's better you know about it and you air it. But they work well, and I would, there are all kinds of groups now that go, this is the end of the NRA. We're going to pound a stake through their heart. Do not abandon the organization. If there's some hijinks going on, I'm sure it will come out and be resolved. Remember, you got a board of something like 60 people, as I recall.
Yeah,
it's
huge.
I mean, if there's something that has to be done, it'll get done. But I wouldn't. People, you know what? You read this in social media all the time. Some organization doesn't do what you think they should do, and I'm not going to spend my money. I'm going to quit, and I'm not going to do that. And so, well, you know what? The people who say that typically have no clue how politics works. They go, "You should draw a line in the sand. We're not crossing the sand. We're not giving in." Well, great. Then what's going to happen is you're going to lose completely.
They spend 30 seconds looking at memes, and then they get the pitchforks out.
Exactly.
And that's exactly what happens. And that they don't have any insight as to what's going on.
They really don't. And they don't understand how an organization, a pro-Second Amendment organization, sometimes has to they got to give on certain things to sit at the table. If you draw a line in the sand, you don't even get to sit at the table. There have been bills that have been, I wouldn't say gutted, but have been severely reduced in how bad they were, because groups like the ISRA had a seat at the table and they could at least get something out of it. So, if you haven't if you haven't walked in the shoes, shut up.
Well, that's what people didn't understand about Rauner. So while he may have, went with some of the gun stuff, he really kept a lot of it at bay.
He did.
And, everybody, I'm not supporting him because, he didn't, he said this about this or that or whatever.
Yeah.
And it was silly because now we have Jelly Belly.
Yeah. I got really ticked yesterday. Somebody on one of these social media sites said that everybody in ISRA is, they're really in cahoots with him. And I just let go. I just blasted him. That's nonsense. It's just crap. Sorry. Can I still say that, can't I?
Yeah, that's fine.
Crap. Anyway.
Don't wear it out.
George's left eyebrow just raised, and then he looked back down again, so it must be all right. I got to be fairly reasonable. Anyway, we're going to have to take another break. You know what's coming up next. So it started again, the conversation in D.C. has started again about silencers. So when we return, we're going to talk a little bit about gun silencers. And we're going to talk about a lot of other stuff when we return. So all that and more when we return with On Target Radio. And you're listening to AM 560.
The Answer.
It's time we had an uncomfortable conversation. A conversation about race, about crime, about politics, about all the things that divide us so that we can find the things that might unite us. That's what AM 560's own Joe Walsh and Maze Jackson from WVON 1690 AM will do each week on their podcast, Uncomfortable Conversations. Check it out at 560theanswer.com every Thursday and catch Maze with Joe Thursday evening at 6:30 right here on AM 560. The Answer.
Fox News, I'm Jessica Stone. The U.S. Secretary of State flying to the Middle East to build a global coalition against Iran after President Trump declined a military strike against it. Republican Congressman Michael McCall.
He exercised restraint. He was thoughtful and measured.
The U.S. will levy more sanctions on Iran Monday. Democratic presidential candidate Pete Buttigieg facing controversy after a white police officer fatally shot a black man in South Bend, Indiana, where he's mayor. Buttigieg admitting he's failed to recruit more minority officers. And the number of dead in that Hawaii skydiving plane crash has risen to 11, setting a grim record.
This is the deadliest accident involving a civil airplane in the United States since 2011.
The NTSB's Jennifer Hamady. A preliminary report expected within 2 weeks. This is Fox News.
Hard drives fail. Viruses destroy data. Having a copy of your work, photographs, financial records, and other important files is one step in a thorough backup plan. Geekometrics offers a secure online solution by placing a copy of your data off-site where it's safe from theft, fire, and unauthorized access. Losing photos and financial information is devastating. Geekometrics' secure online backup solution is a reliable way to back up important files. The most common reasons for not backing up are uncertainty about what needs to be backed up and how to do it reliably. Geekometrics provides a full-service managed solution with no storage limit. Geekometrics does all of the setup, configuring, testing, and monitoring. Your data is even safe when you travel with your Mac or PC laptop. Call 630-759-9283 to talk to a specialist who can help you keep your data safe. 630-759-9283. Geekometrics, helping you keep your data safe.
Safer USA, Chicago's most trusted name in firearm training, is offering beginners classes, tactical pistol and rifle, long-range rifle to 600 yards, and the most comprehensive Illinois concealed carry program available. AM 560 On Target Radio co-hosts David Lombardo and Gretchen Fritz will prepare you to carry a firearm for personal protection, including firearm, holster, and ammunition selection. A comprehensive law review designed to keep you out of trouble and even how to deal with home invasions. Firearm, ammunition, holster, class notebook are provided. Safer USA and the Aurora Sportsman's Club invites you to participate in this one-of-a-kind Illinois concealed carry program that also qualifies you for Florida, Utah, and Arizona non-resident permits. Find out what over 6,000 students already know at saferusa.com.
Or call 815-741-3474. That's 815-741-3474. Safer USA. Choosing to own a firearm is your business. Teaching you to own it responsibly is ours.
As a parent, you want what's best for your children. That means sending them to a school where they'll get the superior education they deserve, and that also shares your values. That can be tricky these days, as public schools have changed and private schools can be expensive. Your household budget has already been cut to the bone, and it's hard to imagine where you'll find that extra money. Well, there's help to lessen that financial burden and provide your child with the very best education at half the cost. At AM 560 The Answer, we work with private schools throughout the Chicagoland area to provide tuition for families at half the normal cost. Just log on to halfpriceschools.com and you'll find some of Chicagoland's finest private schools, from preschool all the way through high school, at half the cost. And chances are there's a school right in your neighborhood. Invest in your child's education and future at halfpriceschools.com. A limited number of half-price vouchers are available. Go to halfpriceschools.com now.
Deb, I'm so done with today. Traffic was awful. I couldn't stop for coffee. I have conference calls all morning, plus all these reports to go through. And look, it's 75 and sunny, and I'm stuck in here.
Relax. It's going to be an awesome day. Corporate is throwing a picnic in the parking lot for lunch, and they ordered tasty catering.
What? Did I miss the memo?
Apparently. It's going to be great. They got burgers, grilled chicken, sides, the works. You know, Tasty Catering's picnic food is excellent.
Oh, yeah, I know. We had them for our holiday party.
Today, they're bringing out the Make Your Own Burger Creation Station. They have everything you can think of, like sriracha, blue cheese crumbles, bacon, sautéed mushrooms, and caramelized onions. And they serve it straight off the grill, the way a great burger should be.
Okay, maybe there's still hope for today. I just hope I don't spill mustard on this new tie. Good thing I've got my bib.
You have a bib?
You don't?
Tasty Catering's picnic menu has all the delicious summertime food favorites you crave and more. Go to tastycatering.com to peruse mouth-watering picnic menus and start planning your picnic today. tastycatering.com.
We now return to On Target Radio on AM 560, The Answer. If you have a question or an opinion, share it with us at 312-642-5600. And now, debating, debunking, and discussing today's hot issues. Here are your hosts, David Lombardo and Gretchen Fritz.
Well, they're back at it. You know, this concept of a full-time legislature really leaves something to be desired. So they're piddling around. I was going to say that C word, but I wasn't sure if the context was right. Again, with the silencer thing. This is actually ironic, but Senator Bob Menendez in New Jersey, which there's a real shocker, is writing it up as a bill. And this is what he says about it. I'm not saying that any single piece of legislation can stop every single tragedy, but there's no question that gun safety laws can save lives. Okay, we have some, like 20,000 or something, to that essentially. Here, the irony of this whole thing is Europe has to be one of the most anti-gun continents in the world. And yet they have the strictest gun laws anywhere. You not only can you not own a gun, you can't own a steak knife anymore, okay? They just keep going. Did you read it? They just recently, knives with points are now banned. You have to have round nose knives now. At some point, what do you get down to? And you go, gee, they're still killing people. Maybe this didn't work as we had planned. Silencers is a really classic example. First of all, silencer does absolutely nothing to the lethality of a firearm. It has no effect whatsoever one way or the other, from pragmatically speaking. In Europe, if you want to hunt, you are required to use a silencer because it's about hearing. It's insane that our country even disagrees with the Brits on this subject. Even the Brits go, yeah, we hate guns. But for the aristocracy that are out getting pheasant and doing whatever they're doing, they can have guns. That's cool because they're the ones that run the country. But they got to have silencers. In this country, we don't even get that. We don't even see that it helps the shooter, and it helps all the neighbors, helps all the people surrounding it. So it's coming up again. Now, I don't know that, you know, he's raising it in the Senate, but I think he'll have a hard sell in the Senate. I really do.
Well, you know, the thing that grinds my gears on this crap here is...
No, you got it in, didn't you? He said he was going to get it in.
I got it in. Is that, you know, every time one person does one little thing, all of a sudden we have to ban it for everybody. So you get the underwear bomber guy on the airplane. Mm-hmm. And then now all of a sudden... You know, we have to go through the naked body scanner at the airport. Right. And we got to check our shoes because someone tried to blow it up with their shoes. And then, you know, a guy used a bump stock in Las Vegas. So now we can't have bump stocks. And now this guy uses a silencer. So now we can't have silencers. I mean, when are we going to stop, you know, making laws because one person did something? It's ridiculous.
Well,
yeah, I agree. Menendez thinks he knows, but I'm sure he's full of it. He said that a silenced gun sounds like a nail gun.
Yeah.
And that the sound of gunfire serves as a warning to people in mass shooting situations. Oh, so now the sound of gunfire is a good thing.
Well, you know. And
of course the NRA is like, yeah, a silenced, a suppressed gun is actually still much louder than a nail gun.
Yeah, and that's something that they like to portray when they talk about how bad silencers are. You get this. No, it doesn't work that way. They're not that quiet.
Well, in a movie I saw, you could put a water bottle on the end of a .22 and put some paper towels in it. No one would hear it ever. So I think that's what they're scared of. They're scared of what they don't know.
Yeah.
And that's the whole thing. And that goes along with all the black guns and everything like that. They don't know it looks scary. It sounds like it might be scary.
That's actually part of the next article, which is, in my opinion, is the best part of this next article.
Swallow.
Yes.
Yeah.
Is that this California Globe writer, I'm not familiar with the California Globe, but it must be conservative because they're basically saying that the proposals of presidential candidate Eric Swalwell and Kamala Harris are total garbage. So I have to believe that they're conservative. And Katie Grimes, the author, points out that the term assault weapons was first coined by Josh Sugarman. He is the head of an anti-gun group called the Violence Policy Center. And he actually wrote in 1988, the semi-automatic weapon's menacing looks coupled with the public's confusion over fully automatic machine guns versus semi-automatic assault weapons, anything that looks like a machine gun is assumed to be a machine gun, can only increase the chance of public support for restrictions on these weapons. So as a matter of like a policy recommendation, he even acknowledged that it's a scary looking gun and we could probably get people to go against them.
And that was from 1988.
Yeah. Doesn't that blow your mind?
That does.
I didn't know this history, so that was an interesting history.
Yeah. Well, look at the Highland Park thing. The justice said, well, okay, it's not that big. They don't use them that much. But if it makes the people of Highland Park feel better, that's justification.
Yeah.
To just totally obliterate a constitutional right. Oh, well, it makes you feel better. You know what makes me feel better? Not killing unborn children.
Yes.
Doesn't make me feel better. Well, not the unborn children part. That kind of came out wrong, but the gun part.
On that note, we're leaving. When we return, we're gonna return with our moment of AOC Zen with more on Target Radio. And you're listening to AM 560, The Answer.
Hey, my friend Mike Lindell, the MyPillow guy, has authorized me to make the best offer ever on radio or TV. For a limited time only, you can get a 2-pack of MyPillows for only $69.98. That's only $34.99 per pillow. Again, that's the lowest price he's ever offered in the history of MyPillow. Now, if you procrastinate and don't own a MyPillow yet, or you already know why this is the pillow everybody wants and loves because you've got one, then, man, here's the best offer ever. And by the way, you can still get 30% off of the pet beds, mattress toppers, and Giza cotton sheets. So act now to get this brand new, absolutely lowest price ever offered of 2 premium MyPillows for only $69.98. Go to MyPillow.com and use the promo code Joe or call 1-800-489-0201. That's 1-800-489-0201 or MyPillow.com. Either way, use the promo code Joe.
Visit MyPillow.com.
Famous conservative quotes presented by Automated Systems.
Winston Churchill remarked, "Socialism is a philosophy of failure, the creed of ignorance, the gospel of envy. Its inherent virtue is the equal sharing of misery." How truly relevant.
For FDA-regulated staffing needs, Automated Systems provides top talent, including experienced quality control and assurance engineers, plus validation and compliance experts. Hiring the best is critical to success. ASI resources are all degreed professionals with decades of experience in manufacturing, automation, and FDA compliance. That's why ASI is retained by all of Chicagoland's Fortune 500 life science companies to successful startups. For a staffing evaluation, call Laz at 844-HIRE-ASI or visit hireasi.com. That's 844-HIRE-ASI or online at hireasi.com.
Tasty Catering is bringing outdoor happiness to you and your coworkers this picnic season.
Down-home barbecue, street tacos, sausages and sandwiches, steaks, chops, fish, Greek feasts, pig roasts. The list goes on.
Tasty Catering picnic foods are more deliciously sophisticated than ever. With so many great options, everyone will be happy.
Organic, gluten-free, vegetarian, vegan, and dairy-free options never tasted so picnicky.
And your picnic doesn't stop with amazing freshly grilled food. Entertainment, rentals, decor, venue selection. Get everything you need with one single call to Tasty Catering.
Inflatables and crafts for the kids, games and athletics for the teenagers, beverage packages and entertainment options for the adults. There's so much to choose from.
The best company picnics start at tastykatering.com. View picnic menus, entertainment options, picnic spots, and more. Visit tastykatering.com. tastykatering.com.
You're listening to On Target Radio on AM 560, The Answer, with David Lombardo and Gretchen Fritz. Here's David and Gretchen with more interesting conversation on gun control, concealed carry, freedom of speech, and other red meat issues that affect your life. To participate, call the studio at 312-642-5600.
It's time now for your moment of AOC Zen.
Well, you have to give credit to our favorite slow-motion train wreck socialist representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez for being able to produce more misinformation than the rest of the Congress combined. A week ago doesn't go by without her boldly going where no politician dare go before. This week, AOC accused the United States of running concentration camps housing illegals crossing the southern border. Hitler's concentration camps existed specifically to solve what he referred to as the Jew problem by ruthlessly murdering them. Doubling down on stupidity, AOC compared the situation to the concentration camps of World War II, where 6 million Jews were exterminated. That is exactly what they are. They are concentration camps, she said. The fact that concentration camps are now an institutionalized practice in the home of the free is extraordinarily disturbing, and we need to do something about it. She tweeted, "This administration has established concentration camps on the southern border of the United States for immigrants where they are being brutalized with dehumanizing conditions and dying. This is not hyperbole. It is the conclusion of expert analysis. An expert on concentration camps says that's exactly what the U.S. is running at the border." Things can be concentration camps without being Dachau or Auschwitz. And for the shrieking Republicans who don't know the difference, concentration camps are not the same as death camps. Concentration camps are considered by experts as the mass detention of civilians without trial, and that's exactly what this administration is doing. It didn't take long for significant blowback on social media. Detention facilities don't actually have a whole lot in common with concentration camps, especially considering the fact that no one here is being murdered and exterminated simply because of their race or religion, one person tweeted. The fact is, they are being detained because they broke our immigration law. If they were trying to come through legally, they wouldn't be detained. The truth is, an overwhelming percentage of people coming into the country illegally have a criminal record and pose a direct threat to our national security, said another. And then there's the health issues, including 4,200 migrant detainees quarantined for exposure to mumps, 800 for exposure to chicken pox, and 100 were quarantined for exposure to both. Can anyone in their right mind suggest letting illegal sick mob into the U.S. carte blanche? AOC can, and once again she proves she has no clue what she's talking about. Liz Cheney took her to task by saying, "Please, do us all a favor and just spend a few minutes learning some actual history. 6 million Jews were exterminated in the Holocaust. You demean their memory and disgrace yourself with comments like this." And that was our moment of Zen. Every week. I've already got one for next week. We didn't even get through this week. There was 2. I have to put one off till next week.
Can we rename it to the moment of crap?
Then we need a new bumper.
I don't know. George threw that one together in 5 minutes.
Sure. Yeah, I could have a new one in no time.
He's on board.
We were having a little debate about what I want to talk about, but this will be quick. The Oregon Senate basically pulled the ripcord because they got the word that the militia was basically tired of what was going on. Oregon, has been very, would you call it progressive? That's what they would call it.
Nice way to put it.
Yeah, progressive about banning guns and stuff like that. And the state militia said, "We're coming." Now, I don't think they did, but it was enough that they all went screaming out the door. Maybe I'm being a little over. Maybe there's more crap being added to this than should be. But here's the joking aside part. And we were talking about this on the break, and the joking aside part is this. Everybody talks about this. Not everybody, but a lot of people in the two-way community talk about this sort of thing, but only the Bundys have actually had the you-know-what, the cojones to do it. They've actually stood up to the federal government. And this may be, who knows what this means. It may well mean that people are getting tired.
There was the guy with the killdozer.
What was it? Oh, I forgot all about
the killdozer, yeah.
I forgot all about that guy. That's right. But you wanted to talk about the war memorial, so go ahead, because it's interesting, too. We talked about this a long time ago.
Yeah, so I got this from a website that sends me stuff because I'm on the county board. So this was it's more of a government-oriented publication, but a 40-foot tall cross in Maryland called the Peace Cross, built decades ago as a monument to soldiers who died in World War I, does not violate constitutional mandates requiring the separation of church and state, according to the U.S. Supreme Court. They ruled on last Thursday. So, yeah, it's really good.
It's interesting because as anyone who's Christian knows, there's been a concerted effort to scrub Christianity from the culture.
Yes.
And which is tough to do because it's on our currency, it's on our buildings. I mean, the Ten Commandments are in virtually every courthouse.
Right.
And yet they've been trying desperately to do just that.
Right. So Samuel Alito authored the lead opinion for the majority, and actually it was 7-2. So it wasn't even close. It wasn't close at all.
Yeah.
So he said, while the cross is a Christian symbol, Alito notes that plain white crosses also marked overseas graves of soldiers who died in the war, and says the use of the cross at the memorial, which was constructed in the 1920s, must be viewed in that historical context. He also says that cross at this point has become a landmark, and that removing or radically altering it now would be seen as a hostile rather than neutral act.
We're going to take a break. When we come back, we're going to have Gretchen's Actions items and more on Target Radio. And you're listening to AM 560, The Answer.
Hard drives fail. Viruses destroy data. Having a copy of your work, photographs, financial records, and other important files is one step in a thorough backup plan. Geekometrics offers a secure online solution by placing a copy of your data off-site where it's safe from theft, fire, and unauthorized access. Losing photos and financial information is devastating. Geekometrics' secure online backup solution is a reliable way to back up important files. The most common reasons for not backing up are uncertainty about what needs to be backed up and how to do it reliably. Geekometrics provides a full-service managed solution with no storage limit. Geekometrics does all of the setup, configuring, testing, and monitoring. Your data is even safe when you travel with your Mac or PC laptop. Call 630-759-9283 to talk to a specialist who can help you keep your data safe. 630-759-9283. Geekometrics, helping you keep your data safe.
Balance of nature, changing the world one life at a time.
You guys have a great product, and I tell my friends about it. And I was actually talking to a guy the other day who I just met, and he takes them. So you put out a great product, and I want to thank you and your organization.
I just started using it, and my family's already seen the difference. And I have health issues. I have fibromyalgia, asthma. But all of a sudden, everything's clearing up, and I'm feeling better, and my skin's better. My brother said I look 10 years younger already.
Wow. Okay.
My vision is clearer. I already see the difference. People are seeing the difference, and my doctor's seeing the difference.
Experience the Balance of Nature difference for yourself. For a limited time, you can receive a 30% discount and free shipping on your first preferred order of Balance of Nature. Call 800-2468-751 or go to balanceofnature.com and use discount code CHICAGO.
You're listening to On Target Radio on AM 560, The Answer, with David Lombardo and Gretchen Fritz. Here's David and Gretchen with more interesting conversation on gun control, concealed carry, freedom of speech, and other red meat issues that affect your life. Stand by. Here's Gretchen with your action items for the week.
The following Safer USA classes are at our facility in Waterman. Tuesday, June 25th, NRA Basic Pistol, taught by David. Sunday, July 7th, Long Range Rifle, taught by Ed Janka. Saturday, July 13th, Illinois Concealed Carry Renewal Class, taught by David. To sign up for classes, go to saferusa.com and click on Register.
Well, that was quick. Speaking of quick, people are quick to give money.
Good one.
Good one, isn't it? Yeah, that could go in the Segway Hall of Fame. Or not. Okay, fine. But it is interesting that giving is up.
Yes, this was another one that I got in my county board email from a website called Inside Charity. And he says 2018 charitable giving broke all previous records, totaling $427.27 billion, up from 2017's $410 billion. And it's funny because he says, why did 2018 charitable giving increase? It's simple. People have more money. And he is crediting Trump's tax reform with, the reason why people have more money. And apparently there are slightly fewer number of gifts, but the total giving was higher. And he predicts that 2019 will break the record again, thanks to Trump.
There is a fundamental difference between liberalism and conservatism. That's a legitimate difference of opinion. We disagree with it, but there is this underlying thing, and that underlying thing is liberals don't believe that people will do the right thing. They believe that everything has to be a law, that you gotta pass a law, you gotta have an ordinance, you gotta have this, you gotta have that, because people are not willing to do the right thing. They see the negative in people, and there are people that have plenty of negative to see. Conservatives are the exact opposite. If you get a $10 raise, well, in our church, somebody gets a raise, they start giving more money to the church. They don't give it all, but they look at the people around them and look at the society around them. Eric and I both worked as deputies, never got paid, got the badge, wore the body armor, got the free Dunkin' Donut, didn't get paid. I did it for 20 years. Hopefully you'll see the light before that. But
Eric can't even eat the donuts, so.
But intrinsically, people do want to do the right thing. And that's all the rest of the nonsense and arguing set aside. The real fact of the matter is that people really do want to do the right thing. And we believe that, and we prove it every single time. This is proof of it. Got a little more money in our pocket? Let's give a little bit more.
Yeah.
Okay? It's just the exact opposite. Whereas if you take everything away from people, then they go, I'm hanging on to what I got left.
Right. Yeah, it is very interesting. And I think that, when people die, everybody says nice things about them. So when George H.W. Bush died not that long ago, everybody was saying nice things about him. But when he came out with 1,000 Points of Light, people made fun of him.
Oh, absolutely. They did.
Everyone was ridiculing him. Yeah. That's the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard. It's like, well, the fact of the matter is that nonprofits serve people more efficiently than government.
They do. Anyway, we're going to have to take a long commercial break.
Hey, Dave, before you do, are you still potted up in there on your board?
No.
Hit the hot pink, pot up and hit the hot pink button next to your AOC rant.
The hot pink button.
Moment of crap.
Do it again.
Well, that didn't work. Now, your AOC moment of crap. Moment of crap. There you go.
It's not as good as the
It's a
other,
great
right?
way to end the show.
Thank you so much for that. We got to go. That was it. Our show is over. Thanks, George, for being on the board and being a putz. We appreciate it.
Sorry.
Be sure to listen next week. We'll be back.
Wow, we've been doing a lot of roofs.
And we're ready to do yours. This is Mark Olson.
And Greg Olson from Crumweedy. Okay, say it. If your roof is needy,
call Crumweedy. Remember that when you need repair or when you need a new roof.
It's so important to choose your roofing company wisely.
Here's our pitch.
Installation. It's the ballgame.
We follow the manufacturer's specifications, so your warranty is totally intact. Most roofing companies don't do that.
When we give you a quote, we give you good, better, and best options. You decide.
And we're not not going anywhere.
We're a third-generation family business. 65 years of doing great roofs.
We run the company on good, conservative values.
For any roofing problem or need, call your roofing guys, Crumweedy.
Do we have any special offers? Sure. Just ask. We'll take care of you.
Get all the info at myroofisneedy.com.
When your roof is needy,
call Crumweedy.
630-595-8020. 630-595-8020.
What's happening?